the strategy. I'm just hoping to do kind of rapid fire questions here. It should be pretty quick, but had some good success and some mistakes. But overall, return on ad spend is pretty good in Calgary.
Nice.
Getting into my questions. So my ad spend is not being equally spread over my ads. So if I give you an example, I'll go into this campaign. It's really just going towards 5% of my ads. It's favoring these images. And then like 90% of my other ideas are just kind of getting untouched as far as the amount spent goes. Any thoughts on how to kind of give the creatives more of a chance?
No, Facebook system will automatically choose which one it wants to show. It's pretty dynamic in deciding where the spin goes, and usually identifies the ads that'll work best initially. There's not really a way to like level spin unless you did like actual split tests, which aren't necessary and take up too much time. So I would be, out of all the ads sets, I would just look at which ads are getting the most spin, and those are usually the ones that are going to end up working the best, especially if they have a high return.
Okay, so just kind of trust Facebook that they're going to pick because they selected this very specific text I was using and then two specific images and
And you see like all those creatives just floated to the top, the $5 off one with the creative image of that turquoise looking color. See, those seem to be the best ones.
pretty much all the ad spend went to that creative. I mean, none of the other ones really even got a shot, like 21 cents, 36 cents, just not much you can do about that.
No, not really. You just have to leave it running.
Okay. And at what point do I kind of kill the ads that Facebook isn't really even showing at all?
I would do that now. I mean, those aren't working. Even if they don't have a lot of spin, like if you collectively stacked them all up, I mean, you would see.
Okay. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, like you're at a 5.75. I mean,
Next,
you could cut all those other ones. Fine.
Yeah. If I really wanted to test to see if this creative actually could do okay with the same budget, could I just throw it into a specific, I guess, ad testing campaign and assign it, a budget through a very specific ad set?
If you wanted to. That's your call. I wouldn't do it.
Okay. Okay. The other thing is for automatic placements. It's my first time really using that, and we're really not getting much placements on stories, specifically Instagram stories, which we had some success with in the past. So would you recommend having a separate campaign specifically doing stories with its own ad format, or how do you get kind of featured on stories more, and since automatic placements isn't really getting us there?
I wouldn't do a separate campaign with it, but which campaign is it specifically that you're talking about?
I mean, all of them. So, I mean, yeah, this is a good example, like the interest testing in Calgary that's doing decently well. Same with lookalike combined Calgary. Yeah, story spend is very minimal.
Okay, let's see. So this will show us what placements there are. So for stories, it looks like you had 23 cents spent on Facebook, and then for Instagram stories, you had about $25 spent. So, I mean, in Facebook's eyes, like even though they spend $25 here, they didn't get a single purchase, but some of these others are like $7, $5, so it doesn't even want to attempt to spend much more money there until later on.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I mean is I'd rather build a specific story vertical video and have a set budget going towards that just because I did have success with that in the past on a campaign that's now turned off. Um, but obviously Facebook is just favoring news feeds.
Yeah, you really have never historically spent much on stories at all.
It's a turned off campaign now. So if you get rid of active,
Got it.
um, I had a specific story campaign that I had closed down, and it was just one video in that campaign.
I see. Yeah, but I mean, you spent about $1,500 on it, and it was your most expensive one.
Yep.
So I mean, like, the story placements are the highest cost per purchase and the lowest return on ad spend for you, actually. So like, you're wanting to do a placement that historically has performed the worst. So I just leave it at automatic placements and let Facebook do
Yeah,
its
but we
job
just
on choosing.
never
Because even here, it's your
okay.
highest.
We just never really experimented with different ad formats and stories.
Yeah, but on the ad level, when you create it, did you do that story placement option?
No, we didn't.
Yeah, so like just do that moving forward and then leave it at automatic because Facebook's gonna end up improving your returns for you. Because like automatically, like
Okay, so you think
that was the
more ad
lowest,
spend will go towards stories?
yeah, that was like the lowest return on ad spend for you. I mean, yeah, so like the returns were just anywhere near good as all the other placements, which makes sense why Facebook's choosing not to show it there.
Mm-hmm.
But it'll show more often as time goes
Okay.
because like eventually like the frequency or something, it'll try to balance itself out by adding in additional story placements. And then if your potential customers are there, they'll do it. But the thing is, I mean, if you want to ensure that you're getting the best results through stories, then just make sure whenever you edit your ad, you can change that placement on story. I wouldn't do its own campaign. You just need to do it on the ad creative level. Otherwise, you're going to have overlap and it's just going to cause an issue. And you'll end up having a little bit less of a return.
Okay.
So like you might just end up spending more money, which, you know, every dollar counts, especially when you're going into new markets.
Yep.
So like for instance, if we look at this ad, like right here, this edit image, you just select a placement to edit,
Select a
then you just
placement.
choose stories. You just
Yep.
select it and then you build out the placement here and then you'll be fine. And then all you do is just, I mean, you can do however you want to change it. I mean, whether it's you replacing the image or however you'd like. See, like you could
Okay.
re-upload this image except in long format where it's like the full vertical size rather than 1080 by 1080. Just download the full vertical length. You get what I'm saying?
Yep. Yep. Definitely. I just wanted to see more. Yeah, do some more testing in that ad format. So I'll do that. That makes sense. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, you can see our previous video in there, which is just one of my staff members kind of talking about the service. And pretty much half of our cities have seen this video and has been like, hey, stop using this. We just kind of exhausted the ad. So
Yeah, so all you gotta do is just put the format in and then you're good to go. Rather than splitting the placements out,
Okay.
do it that way.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good. My next question here quickly. So Vancouver, this campaign is kind of tanked. So Calgary's doing great, obviously, but Vancouver, we're getting almost no purchases. And I've kind of realized that's because we only have one delivery window in Vancouver, which is Saturday. So the ads are not performing Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, because people are going to have to wait a week to get their food. So I really just want to pile into the ads Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So my question is the best way to do that just simply flicking the campaign on and off for the days that we don't want to be doing the ad spend?
No, that wouldn't be the best. Let's see here. The Vancouver is the one that we're talking about.
Yeah, that's right. And I'm kind of making these assumptions based on some other campaigns that are now inactive. All of our purchases kind of came in on the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So you won't really be able to see that
Sunday.
here in these campaigns because they're still kind of fresh.
Yeah, this one's Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, I think I launched this campaign on Friday. So pretty much the worst time I could have launched it. Just because of our order cutoff times and delivery window and all of that. There's a previous Vancouver campaign where I think we spent, 4 or 5 times this amount. And that's really where I'm getting that data from.
Yeah, it looks like your costs are dropping now, though. I would run it through
And
this
that's
Friday just to see
because,
what happens when
we're
the
kind
cost
of
per
over that
purchase.
hump of, but let's say my assumption's right and conversions are going to fall off a cliff Thursday night all the way through to today, which is Monday. What would you do if we don't want to be spending the ad budget Thursday through Monday?
Yeah, so I mean, there's two options. One, you could do a campaign budget, like where it's like you give it a set budget for the month and then it decides what days to spend it on, and the algorithm will naturally just put it all into those main days that it gets the most purchases, which allows you to it still
Mm-hmm.
automatically optimizes for you. So like that'd be like the campaign spending limit, and then like you don't have to have a daily. So in theory, it could spend like half your campaign budget in one day and get you like 80 something purchases. Right?
Okay.
And then the other option would be,
Really trusting Facebook that they're gonna know.
yeah, which they're pretty good at it. And then the other option would be to, let's see if you can do this on the ad set level. You might be able to edit the days that it shows. I mean, it just depends.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it.
Yeah, so like you don't want to do a budget and schedule because what'll end up happening is you'll set it on the schedule, it'll turn off, and then you won't be able to activate it again. You get what I'm saying?
And it's a bad thing to just be flipping the campaign on and off manually.
Yeah, because then it never just converts or like never gets, I mean, it'll convert, but it'll just never get the data it needs. So the other option
So really,
is
mhm.
to do the campaign lifetime and then just have that go. And then just let it decide what days it spends it.
So that's really the only option.
Yeah. Or add more delivery windows.
Hmm.
Like just figure out
Yeah,
logistics.
we're looking into doing that.
I would leave it
Yeah.
how it is, letting it run daily.
Okay.
Just to let it until Friday, see what happens. Right?
Okay.
Because let's say your average cost
Yeah.
per purchase is $7 throughout the week and then it's 15 on the weekend. I mean, might just be something you have to bear in terms of cost.
And it's just not worth the turning it on and off again because it's gonna have to re-optimize all over again.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. This other campaign in Calgary here, I did interest testing. Circle back to this like we were talking about. And oops. Let's see. So it's still new. This has only been running for, I don't know, maybe 4 days. Where is it? Interest testing Calgary. But there's definitely some, here we go, profitable interests we found. All of them except for one here, and they all have over $30 spent. So would you recommend flipping this one off and then just turning this into a CBO and turning the budget up?
Correct. That's right.
Okay. Cool. And then my other question relating to that is, as far as increasing budget, if I turn this into a CBO right now, does it knock these out of, back to zero for learning phase?
Yeah, I will.
But in your opinion, worth it?
Yeah, it's worth it to switch it to the
Okay.
CBO.
And then as a general rule of thumb for increasing budget on CBOs, I don't want to knock everything out of learning phase as I'm increasing budget as I go. What is your kind of rule of thumb for increasing budget while still kind of, keeping it where it should be?
Keeping it under 20% increase daily, like 20 or less. That keeps it out of, that's the
20 or
threshold.
less. Okay.
Yeah, and you can like go to budget and then you can select them and then increase daily budget by, and then you just
Yeah.
type in
Well,
the
I'll
percentage.
turn this into a CBO before I do this.
Yeah, so you would just do that percentage.
Okay. Got it. And you just do that on the campaign level, obviously,
Right.
if it's a CBO. Okay.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, these numbers look
Okay.
good here.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I'm gonna do that, and then I'm an idiot, and in my CBO proven campaign, I knocked all these back into Learning Limited, the one that I had active, because I did a name change, and I didn't realize that would, that would take it out of being optimized. I'm assuming your recommendation here is just to like let this run anyways while it's still being profitable.
Yeah, I'd also turn off the top one.
Okay.
Because that'll
And
take
what
your,
about putting I haven't added new ads into this campaign in quite a long time. And now that I'm finding some more winning ad formats, I'd like to start swapping out the ads that are in this campaign. Is the best way to just copy those ads into here and then flip these off?
copy, paste, leave them on until they are outperforming the other.
Okay. Paste them into each ad set.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Okay. Uh, Yeah, this is another idea I had because this one's stuck in learning limited is to duplicate the entire campaign and get it to run again, in hopes of
Um,
getting, some of these ad sets out of the learning phase.
uh, Hover over the learning limited for the 1%.
It's weird that it
Okay,
says that because obviously there's 74 purchases.
yeah, that is strange. Um, Hit edit on that one, and then let's scroll down to the bottom. You could have this set up with a 1-day view also in here, which is what's stopping it.
Yeah, I do have it with 1-day view.
Yeah, so that's
This is just
the
an old
problem.
campaign that was set up this way.
Yeah, so that's why I want to exit, because it's trying
Hmm.
to do 50 people who just viewed it and purchased. Like, you probably don't have 50 people who just viewed your ad, never clicked on it, and purchased within 7 days. So that's why this word
Yeah.
is or. It's not and. It's not 7 days after clicking and 1 day after viewing. It's or. So the system essentially gets to choose which one it wants, and it's going to choose the one that gets the most number of events, which it's obviously going to be 1 day after viewing. It's going to have the highest number of views over people clicking, so it's going to optimize towards this. But at that same time, it's not going to exit learning because it doesn't have 50 purchases within the 1 day.
Right. It's kind of why I'm tempted to hit reset on this, but I mean, it's still performing.
Yeah. I mean, it's just one of those things that you're going to have to like somewhat deal with, and you're at a crossroad between making that decision or not. But I mean, when you have high returns, I don't know, I wouldn't want to say how much would it be worth it to exit learning. If you're trying to scale this one up, like add another couple hundred, then yeah, then it might be worth doing.
Okay. Okay.
And then
Uh,
a couple hundred daily.
yeah, I think increase it by, yeah, I mean, I think right now we're spending 150 a day on it. I don't see it getting beyond, you know,
Then yeah, I would leave it
200 a
alone.
day now that I'm going to be, okay. Okay. Uh, cool. Final question. Increasing my advanced matching. I added a one-time enter your email on my website, and it really only increased it from like 6% to 7%.
Nice.
Um, you said this is like super, super important. So how hard should I be pushing to be getting people to enter their email when they land on the website?
Mm, you're getting matches at the purchase level, of course, because they're having to enter in their information.
Yeah,
And then
that's a
for that
100% match on
7%,
purchases.
yeah, right. So I mean, you're getting that data, which is the most important portion. But to be able to match like all these other audiences, which improves your data, and it just allows you to better retarget, because like think about retargeting, because that has to be the hardest part, because the match rates just aren't
Mhm.
significant there. And it doesn't mean that you're not still reaching those people. It just means
Right.
that it might not be as accurate. So where did you pull that
Right.
7%
Okay. So
from?
mainly this is gonna, yeah, I think it's yeah, right
Oh, the
there,
lead.
lead and view content
But you swapped out that
is,
event, correct?
I did. So now it's view content.
Cool. So let's see here. Oh, you didn't get any leads yesterday. When did you implement it?
Well, I don't think lead is even set up at all now. View content is effectively my lead.
Uh, what is this being used for what's being used for the email event?
Um, I didn't actually set it up. I guess it's just automatic, is what it was saying when I looked at it.
No. So let's go ahead and set it up then.
only issue is I don't think
Your
this is
website?
you're gonna be able to see it right now because it's a one time pop up for first time users.
Okay, well, you're gonna have to add the event code to the event code for lead on the submit button.
Got it.
Yeah,
Make that a lead,
yeah.
even though, or should I? Okay.
The lead is going to be for the email. The view content is going to be for whenever people are viewing the products on that catalog page.
Uh, I see.
Got it?
Okay. Okay. Yep. Totally. Okay.
Perfect.
Cool. Well, thank you. Yeah, the only thing that's really surprising me out of this is that, I spent all this time setting up 30 different ad variations and that Facebook really isn't even going to let me determine which one of those is actually working based on an ad spend. It's really only picking 2 out of the 30. But you're saying that's just kind of standard.
Oh yeah, that's always happened. Anytime we've ever tried to get the spend on the other ones, it always turned out to be a flop anyways. It's kind of strange how it works.
Crazy. Okay.
But yeah, it based it off of
Yeah,
a
it is
lot of factors of like
interesting.
how long people are viewing that ad, like if they're stopping on scroll, like metrics you almost don't get to see from Facebook's end, and you just kind of see the ones that float to the top that work, right? And it also determines like, hey, which
Hmm.
ones out of all these ads have the highest number of text? So you might notice that like some of those ads don't get any spin because they have a ton of text on them. And other factors like that. So like for instance on Instagram, it also like the different colors, that pop up on the learn more buttons, like that
Yep.
light blue you have, whenever they click on it on Instagram, when they click the image, it doesn't actually take them. It populates the colored version of the learn more button. That's also a determining factor people are going to move forward. So if you have like a really bright color on one of your ads, it tends to get a higher click-through rate with people and also gets a lot more people to interact with the ad, even if they don't click through, just because the colored button is a lot more pronounced and visual versus having like a
Hmm.
darker ad where people might click on that image and it might be like the color brown, which isn't as enticing for some people, despite that image you think might convert better. So there's a lot of outside factors that aren't really seen
Hmm.
that are affecting why those other images are going to the top versus the other ones too.
Right. And in general, you've noticed that having text on the image itself, Facebook will just kind of devalue that ad.
It does, but at the same time, those are sometimes the best converting ads. You might reach less people, but it's going to get more
Yeah.
people to purchase. So
Hmm.
reaching less, but getting more purchases because you might be able to reach more people without text, but it might not communicate as effectively as it could. And that many people seeing it doesn't have as big of an impact because they're just not converting.
Hmm. Okay.
So you
Yeah.
just got to weigh those
Makes
two
sense. Okay.
things.
Well, thanks so much for I will. Yeah, I'll do some more experimenting here.
Awesome. Well, perfect.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for the
All
help,
righty.
Chase.
Yeah, no problem.